as our presenter. Dr. Kenyele O. Ario is the presenter of tonight, and he holds a degree in physics education and had a master's degree in test and measurement evaluation. He has quite an extensive knowledge in test construction and validation, and presently he works with a group of psychometrics seminar. Dr. Kenyele
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm not hearing the anchor again from my end here. I don't know if anybody can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, please.
We can hear you. The same thing in my side.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We thank God for our brother who have done the opening prayer for us. You remember 2 weeks ago, we started discussions on item analysis techniques. And I want to appreciate our presenter, my brother, and a dear friend, Dr. Samuel Kukola, who introduced us to item analysis techniques. During our last presentation, he introduced us to the session. And not only that introduced us, he taught us about the intricacy, how to go about it, especially in the classroom. After his presentation, we felt that we have not covered the whole ground in the area of item analysis techniques. And tonight again, we may not be able to cover everything. Today will still be building on the existing protocol or what Dr. Kukola has already taught us. So we are believing that in our next presentation, we are still going to build more on whatever we are going to learn today. So we need to pay attention. And I want to say that we appreciate our colleagues from all around Africa. The registration today is wonderful because we have people from South Africa in our midst. We have people from Somalia, from East Africa, from Uganda. We have people from West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana. In fact, the representation tonight is very superb. This tells us that even though we may be few in attendance, but you see, we are well represented in Africa. And I believe that we'll be ambassador of what we are going to learn tonight. Without wasting time, we want to look at item analysis technique. We know that item is very important. When we talk about item, we are talking about the basic building block. What is needed to make a test is what we call item. Other people call it question. And so when we are having a test is the sum of different items, different questions. Questions make up what we call a test. Now, when we have a test, a test is just an instrument. It's an instrument for what? An instrument to make decision about what candidates are benefited from instruction. Or we may want to place candidates into classes, or we want to use it for placement, we want to use it for promotion, we can use tests for different purposes. It depends on what we have in mind, decision we want to make. And I believe that there is no one that wants to use tests to punish anybody. But you see that most time, the assessors, they punish the student, not only punishing the candidates, but they destroy the future of candidate because they have not done the right thing. And that is why this topic has come on board, so that we really do what we are supposed to do, so that we will not be destroying our future builder of the nation. Now, there are some keywords in the title tonight. We have item, and then we have item analysis. What do you mean by analysis? Analysis provides information about test performance. When we are talking about item analysis, we are talking about, or item analysis, we are talking about, we are analyzing to provide information about an item or about the test itself. So therefore, item information borders on item characteristics. Before we be informed about our test, or before we can be informed about our questions, then we need certain information. We need the characteristics. Let me explain what I mean by characteristics. Like as I'm talking tonight, I have some peculiar characteristics. One, I am a male. Two, I have a discipline that is related to what we are discussing tonight. And so you look at my background, and then you look at whether I'm a male or female. That I'm a male is my characteristics. I cannot behave like a woman. And that I'm presenting this topic tonight on item analysis because it's related to my discipline. That is also part of my characteristics. So every item has characteristics, and we need to have information about item characteristics, about information about the item or question or the test we want to administer to students. How can we get these characteristics? How can we get these characteristics? It is through the process of item analysis. I believe we are together, colleagues. Are we together? I want to know whether we are together.
Yes,
we are
with you. We are with you.
Go ahead.
Together. Yes.
Thank you very much. So you see that when we are talking about item analysis, it is not only people who study measurement and evaluation that need to be doing it, or people that are in public examination. Everybody that has to do with assessment need to do what we call item analysis, because through item analysis, we'll be able to provide information about the test, about the items we want to administer to the candidate or to our student. Therefore, we need to understand that when we are talking about assessment, assessment is based on certain theory, and we need to understand the theory of assessment. We have different types of theory. We have what we call classical test theory. We are familiar with classical theory because that is the conventional theory that most of our examination is based upon. Then there is another one, which is called item response theory. This is not new, but it's relatively new in many parts of the world. And when you compare the two of them, item RRT, which we call item response theory, has some advantages over classical test theory that many people have knowledge about. I believe during our conference, forthcoming conference, which have been displayed, if you come early to the webinar, we will be talking more about theory of assessment. So we'll leave that for another day. Now, when we talk about item analysis, there are two sets of techniques that we can use for our item analysis. The first one is what we call qualitative technique, and the other one is quantitative techniques. As you continue, we are going to explain this terminology. When we talk about these techniques, we are talking about procedure used to evaluate the characteristics of items of the test. I've told you already that the reason why we are interested in item analysis is to be able to get information about the item. We want to get the item characteristics, and you have to find out, are you doing item analysis for using qualitative technique, or are you doing item analysis based on quantitative techniques? Now, when we are talking about characteristics for item, there are 3 or 4 characteristics we are interested in. One, we want to find out how difficult the item is. So we have to look at difficulty index. We have to look at discriminative index. We have to look at validity coefficient and effectiveness of distraction. I think our presenter 2 weeks ago explained what we mean by difficulty index, discrimination index, and he exposed us to some formula that we can calculate this concept that we have just mentioned. But for the interest of those that were not discrimination index, or we call it point by zero index. A discrimination index is an indicator of whether a question accurately determines a student mastery of a concept. That is it. That is the discrimination index. The index is calculated by comparing whether a student or candidate got the question right with their total score. The theory is that a question that is a good discriminator will be missed by weaker students, but that better student will get that question right. So we need to get it right that if a test is an item is discriminating well, now a good discriminator will be missed by weaker students. But better student will get it right because is the question of the items or the discriminator discriminating well. So discrimination indexes are also generated for distractors. I think our last presenter explained this and he gave us example. Distractors, he told us also that distractors should have negative numbers and the correct answer should have a positive number. Let's look at another terminology. We talk about difficulty index. When we talk about difficulty index, it's a number between 0 and 1. And this indicates how hard the question is. It is the proportion of students who answered correctly. Generally, you want a range of between 0.3 and 0.8, that is 30% to 80% answer correctly. So when we are making choice of items we want to put in our test, we select items that have difficulty that range from 0.3 to 0.8. Anything less than 3 may not be a good item. Any item that is greater than 0.8 may not also be a good item. So you see, as we do our analysis, before we now administer our test to candidates, we select another item analysis and give us the privilege to even judge the test item ourselves before we administer it to our candidate. So we see that any item that the difficulty index is less than 0.3 will be deviation will be removed, or the one that is greater than 0.8 will be removed from the item bank. Having said that, there is another term that we need to really understand, and that is what we call standard deviation. The standard deviation is a measure how different scores are among students. We want to know whether there is a good spread, spread or score. We want to, a low standard deviation indicate that students generally scored close to the mean, or while a large standard deviation indicate that scores differ widely. Normally, we want the candidate score to be very close to the mean. A deviation less than 1 is generally low. A deviation that is greater than 1 is generally high. Now, we also talk about another terminology we want to discuss that is also very important is reliability, internal reliability. We want to find out the items that we have generated, we have constructed, and that is now forming, that's now come together to become our test. Do they have internal reliability? And one of the statistics that we use to measure is Krumba alpha and KR20 or KR21. This generate a number also between 0 and 1. By the time we do analysis, we also find the value between 0 and 1. Anything greater than 0.5 is ideal. So when you get reliability, the index is less than 0.5, then you know that that test items or that test is not good. You have to do justice to that test. You have to reconstruct. Not only that, as long as there is no missing data and partial credit is not given, both methods should produce the same results. So if you use Krumba Ava or you use KR20, each of them, they are mentioning the same thing. So you are supposed to get the same results. But before we apply these statistics or software, we have to check the data itself, whether there is no missing data or partial, or there is no missing data. If there are missing data, there are things we can do. The system itself can generate data for us where there are missing data, or the analyst himself or herself try to clean the data by making sure that where we have the missing data, they are removed before we start our analysis. We want to plead that we mute ourselves. If you are not the speaker, anytime we want to talk, we can unmute ourselves so that there will not be background noise. And we also want to say that KR20 is not appropriate.
Mute her mic.
We are saying that KR20 is not appropriate when questions may allow partial credits. Canvas uses Krumba Alpha, and ExamSoft uses KR20. So these are examples of software that use Krumba Alpha or the one that use KR20. Now, what is the purpose of item analysis? For the purpose of emphasis, let me say it again. Item analysis is purpose to improve test items and identify the unfair or biased items. That is the purpose of doing analysis. Item analysis is to improve test items. Not only that, item analysis is conducted to avoid the chance of tests that are too difficult. That may lead to frustration. When a test is too difficult, the test taker will be frustrated. And I believe the purpose of a teacher or examiner giving out a test is not to frustrate our candidates. Only we want to measure ability of the candidate. We want to measure what individual has learned from a course of instruction. A test is not meant to frustrate anybody. So when we are constructing our test, we should get it right that we want to avoid tests that are too difficult that can frustrate our candidate. And not only that, we want to also avoid tests that are too easy, that have an insufficient ceiling, that will facilitate a decline in motivation and lead to inflated score. When we inflate score, when the score is inflated, the student will no longer be motivated to learn. When there is no step to climb, you will not be able to exercise your energy. So therefore, the test should not be too easy, because the student will claim that he or she knows everything, whereas he do not know everything. So therefore, our questions should not be too difficult, and our question too should not be too easy. Item analysis is valuable for increasing instructor skill in test construction. By the time you involve in item analysis, you will see that you will improve your skill in test construction. You will also improve your skill in test validation. Those two terms, they are not the same. Test construction is different from test validation. When we talk about test construction, that is when we set our question. And by the time we want to validate the question, that is when we start doing what we call item analysis. So the process, and that is what we call psychometry. So psychometry is like the psychometrician, they are doctor of test. Now, test constructors, we have test experts that, that construct tests. And when you now do your construction of tests, you need to give it to psychometrician. Well, the psychometrician cannot work without the test itself being administered to a cohort of test takers, or the real test taker that will take the test, that is the sample of people that you intend the test for. That is what we call trial testing. The test itself need to be trial tested. And after the trial testing, we are able to get what we call responses from the candidates. It is these responses from the candidates during test administration that the psychometrician will do analysis on, and will be able to provide characteristics of the item before eventually now we present the test to the real candidate, or to the real people that the tests are meant for. After we are removed those ones that are difficult, or those ones that are too difficult, or those ones that are too easy. And that is the reason why we are doing our item analysis. Now, so we also do item analysis to identify specific areas of the course context that need greater emphasis or clarity. Now, for tonight, what do we intend to do? Tonight, after the end of this presentation, we expect that participants will be able to explain the concept of item analysis. We'll be able to understand, be able to explain, and then also identify the steps or the process of item analysis. Also, we'll be able to, after the presentation tonight, participants should be able to also list types of item analysis. We should be able to also identify a catalog of item analysis software. And if the time is there, or we have the privilege, we shall also have practical illustration of an objective test item analysis. Now, let's look at the various types of item analysis. As I said, there are two types of item analysis. There is what is called quantitative item analysis. Also, we have qualitative item analysis. Now, what these are different item analyses that we have. There are two completely different paradigms for this analysis. We have classical test theory and the various tools or the various types of software we can use for item analysis. It depends on the paradigms that you are emphasizing. Is your test based on classical test theory? It will inform you the kind of software you are going to use. And if your test is based on item response theory, that also will inform you the type of item analysis software that be used for the analysis. For the purpose of explanation, qualitative item analysis is a process in which the teacher or expert carefully proofreads the test before it is administered to check if there are typographical errors, to avoid grammatical clues that may lead to giving away the correct answer, and to ensure that the level of reading material is appropriate. Whereas quantitative analysis is a technique that uses mathematical and statistical modeling, measurements, and research to understand behavior. I'm sure most of us, almost every teacher, do qualitative item analysis, but not everybody does quantitative analysis. Many people are scared when we talk about statistics, or we talk about statistical modeling, or when we talk about using mathematical concepts. But we do not need to be scared, because now we have packages, computer packages, that will help us to do our analysis. As we can use, as many of us, whether we are in arts or humanity or science, all of us are making use of computer. All of us are using handsets, whichever discipline we are, because we are in technological age. So in the same way, with the packages available, software, item analysis software available, whether we are in humanity or we are in science, we can use, all of us, we are qualified to do quantitative analysis, and that is the purpose of this webinar. Now, having said that, there are some interesting facts that we all need to know about item analysis. One, item analysis are intended to assess and improve the reliability of your test. That is the reason. So if you want to improve the reliability of your test, you will not joke with item analysis. If test reliability is low, test validity will necessarily also be low. This is the ultimate reason we do item analysis, to improve the validity of a test by improving its reliability. So when we improve the reliability of our test items, indirectly we are also improving the validity. Now, according to Hawkins and artists, by the time we do our analysis, what we are going to, there will be some estimates that we're going to generate, or the system will generate for us. And this table inform us or guide us on items that we are that we can select. When you have an index, when you have an item index coefficient of about 0.86 above, is telling us that the item is very easy. So what do? We need to, it has to be discarded. If you have an index of 0.71, 0.71 to 0.85, is showing that the item difficulty is easy, and so the description can be revised. If you have an index of 0.30 to 0.70, it's telling us that the item difficulty index is moderate, and it's telling us that that kind of set of items, they are very good items. And then when we have item index, difficulty index of.
Well, I'm finishing breakfast so we can go, so. finishing breakfast. First, you should do
between 0.15 to 0.5 item is difficult, and that item needs to be revised. When you have 0.14, the index below 0.14 is telling us that item is very difficult, and we need to discard it from the test items. Having said that, we want to look at some of the tools or some of the software that can be used for item analysis. We have chosen this one. There are many of them. If you search through the net, you can get 50 or more than 50 from the net. But we have chosen these 8 just for example, and it cut across different disciplines. It's not only limited to behavioral, it's not limited to education. So we have some of them that is very useful to education courses, education discipline, and some of them are also useful to other discipline. So we have for tonight, we are talking on SPSS. We have R Foundation for Statistical Computing. We have Matlab. We have Microsoft Excel. We have SAS. We have GraphPad Prism. We have Minitab, and we have Excalibur. Now, SPSS is very, very common. I think many of us, we are familiar with SPSS, but as common as SPSS is, we can get a lot done. We can start our analysis. We can even start learning SPSS, whichever categories of lecturer we are, or discipline, or teach, whatever category of vocation or whatever be our area of discipline. SPSS, very, very useful. So we can even start our learning from there. With the software are readily available in the market. So what do you mean by SPSS? It means statistical package for the social sciences. It's perhaps the most widely used statistics software package within human behavioral research. SPSS offers the ability to easily compile descriptive statistics, parametric and non-parametric analysis, as well as graphical depiction of results through the graphical user interface. So it also includes the option to create scripts to automate analysis or to carry out more advanced statistical processes. Now, from the adverts, you see that we ask us to download as many software that we can. So tonight we will not be able to go into the practical. We are doing introduction. We are going to have more another time to look at SPSS. And for those who have been joining us for some years now, when we started this webinar, you can remember that one professor, Rafi Olatoye from one university in the northern part of Nigeria, took us through practically how to use SPSS. So we'll create another privilege, another opportunity, especially for those who just joined the association. And one of these webinar or during our conferences or special workshop, we'll see how we can still learn how to use SPSS. SPSS is very rich. There's a lot of information we can get if we know how to use SPSS very well. Let's look at another one. And this is, these are not cake now, especially in psychometry. Psychometry, if you are in psychometrician, you need to learn this package. How
you don't have any proof that this
our
is
foundation for statistical computing is most of the psychometric job that is being advertised. You find out that they are asking whether you know how to use our software package. So it's a free statistical software package that is widely used across both human behavior research and in other fields. 2 boxes are available for a great range of applications, which can simply simplify various aspects of data processes. While R is a very powerful software, it also has a steep learning curve requiring a certain degree of coding. It does, however, come with an active community engaged in building and improving R and the associated plugin, which ensure that help is never too far away. So we have to learn we have to learn about coding. In fact, there is no item analysis you want to do that you will not learn about coding. Even when you talk about using SPSS, there are a simple coding you have to do. You have to learn how to do coding. So the same way, the same thing for other item analysis or software. We have to learn how to do coding. Let's look at the third one that we are talking about tonight, and that is the Matlab. Matlab is an analytical platform and programming language that is widely used by engineers and scientists. As with R, the learning part is steep, and you will be required to create your own code at some point. A plentiful amount of toolboxes are also available to help answer your research question. So while Matlab can be difficult to use for novices, it offers a massive amount of flexibility in terms of what you want to do, so long as you can code it or at least operate the toolbox required. Now, let's look at another one that is very, very common. And this one comes even with Microsoft Suite, and that is what we call Microsoft Excel. Why not a cutting-edge solution for statistical analysis? MS Excel does offer a wide variety of tools for data visualization and simple statistics. There are a lot of simple statistics that can be done by using MS Excel. It's simple to generate summary metrics and customize graphics and figures, making it a useful tool for many who want to see the basis of their data. As many individuals and companies both own and know how to use Excel, it also makes it an accessible option for those looking to get started with statistics. Now, the next one we want to look at tonight is Sas. Sas is a statistical analysis platform that offers option to use either the GUI or to create script for more advanced analysis. It is a premium solution that is widely used in business and human behavior research alike. It is possible to carry out advanced analysis and produce publication worthy graphs and charts, although the coding can also be a difficult adjustment for those not used to this approach. Now let's look at GraphPad Prism. GraphPad or is a premium software primarily used within statistics related to biology, but offers a range of capabilities that can be used across various fields. It's similar to SPSS. Scripting options are available to automate analysis or carry out more complex statistical calculation, but the majority of the work can be completed through the GUI. Let's look at Minitab. The Minitab software offers a range of both basic and fairly advanced statistical tools for data analysis. It's similar to GraphPad Prism. Commands can be executed through both the GUI and scripted commands, making it accessible to novices as well as users looking to carry out more complex analysis. Now, most of the software that we have discussed, they are mainly used for when your research is based on classical test theory. But if your research or your testing is based on RT, item response theory, there is a user-friendly analysis or software you can use if your test is based on item response, and that's what we are talking about. That's why we are talking about Excalibur. Excalibur have different versions, and presently they have the 4.2 edition. And what is Excalibur all about? Excalibur provides a user-friendly platform to implement item response theory with automated word reports and all major IoT models. Automatically, it creates item response theory, tech reports in MS Word. It completes with hundreds of easy to understand embedded tables, graphs, and narratives. Let me give more explanation on Excalibur. Now, if your test items is based on item response theory, we have many item analysis software that can be used. We have Excalibur, we have Asa Conquest, and then we have many of them. Like Asa Conquest, we do a lot of iteration. But when you look at, and then you may need, if you are using Asa Conquest, you may need knowledge of programming. But if you are not good in programming, Excalibur is friendly, even if you are not an expert. Once you know how to, just like you know how to use MS Word, you can also learn how to use Excalibur. It's user friendly. And I believe we shall have an opportunity also in one of our workshops or in one of our webinar or in our conference. We will practically demonstrate how we can use Excalibur to do item analysis. So it is user friendly, and all you need to do is that you have to clean your data. You have to clean your responses that there is no missing data before the Excalibur can run it for you. With what we have been exposed tonight, I want to give chance for other colleagues to contribute or to ask a question, and then I will now give us assignments after our discussions. Thank you very much for having me. Over to the anchor for question and answer.
Tell me what's going on. So happens that I need you. Or rather, we need each other or we're going to.
Thank you so much,
Hello,
Dr.
our anchor.
Yeah. Now it's time for questions and
Not that we were the victims, but he pressured us. Excuse me.
so if you have any,
Already been suspended.
yes, I'm with you, sir. My network is not so good. All right, thank you very much. If you have any question, you can kindly signify using the raise of hand emoji, or you can drop the question in chat section.
Do you know where the medicines are? Yes. Yes.
All right, thank you. I can see
It's okay. I can do it.
sorry, please. I don't know your title. I can see Adebanji John K. You can kindly
From here, and the boys.
Okay, it's like our anchor is having network problem where she is. So maybe if you can hear me clearly, can we ask? I don't know your title, Adebanji John. Can you tell us your title? You have the floor, please. You can raise your question.
Mary, no, it's fine. It's just that.
Please unmute yourself. Adebanji John, you have the floor.
So if you help me.
Okay, we cannot. There's a question on the. Okay, Adebanji John said that his question has been answered. We have another question on the chat, so let me go through the chat. Okay, let me read through the charts. From the charts, we have the following. Please, if you can read, any one of us, please, want to make it interactive. You can, anyone can help us read any question from the chat if you can see one.
Tell him, make your rules before you go in. I think he'd pay attention to that.
Okay, let me read from the chat.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Yes. One of the
First question
questions
Hello?
from Margaret says, thank you so much for the presentation. My question, how do you learn all these softwares? Are you going to teach on each of them in details?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much for being here tonight. When the association started in 2018, we started with an academic conference, and we started talking about innovations in educational assessment. And one of the key things we did the first, in fact, all the conferences we have been doing, we have give much attention to workshop on analysis. But despite all these things we have been doing, it's like educational assessment is a wide area, very, very wide. When you talk about assessment, you just think that it's just a small concept and all that. And in our university, we even find that there is nothing like faculty. Most of the university, they don't have what you call faculty of psychometries. Just few universities that may have that. Even in some university, test and measurement evaluation courses are just maybe few unit courses. People felt that that area is Astra, or that area there's no more to do there. I don't know what to inform people. But you see, for us in the association, we began to see that educational evaluation is a wide area. And if you really want to do justice to education, we need to get it right, not only in just teaching and learning, but we have to get it right also in the area of assessment. Now, when you talk about how do we learn this software, we have experts. We call them psychometricians. They are available, although they are few, and they have markets. In fact, when you especially outside Nigeria, if you want to go outside Nigeria or want to go outside Africa, you will see there's a lot of vacancy for psychometrician. But you have to know how to use the software before we be employed to do. In developed nation, they are looking for psychometrician, because I believe that they understand that test must measure what is supposed to measure. And that is what we are also teaching in this part of the world, in Africa, that we don't just be giving a test or question to candidate, to student anyhow, but we need to test the test itself. So the psychometrician, they have the knowledge of analysis. They can do the item analysis, and they can also interpret or explain the results based on the analysis. Now, for those of us in the association, which we've been coming to learn, and as the time will allow us, there will be a time where we'll be able to learn some of these, acquired these skills. And also, interestingly, some of these things you can learn them through YouTube. You can learn them through YouTube. So knowledge is not limited to classroom world. So if you are interested, as you have learned, you see tonight, you are take each of them one by one and go to YouTube. And there is a teacher, there must be a teacher somewhere in the YouTube who will lecture you, but you may not have it because you are just being exposed to it through YouTube. But through the association like this that believe in human capacity, make sure that you attend our forthcoming conferences, and also in the middle of the year we'll be organizing physical workshop. I believe during the workshop you will see your teacher, you will have the software, you will have your system, and you will have data to work on. So one night will not be enough to teach you each of the software. What we have done today is to whet our appetite that these software, they are in existence. Like Dr. Popola told us last week, how we can do this thing manually. And I raised up an issue that if you are dealing with you are working in an public examination body that you work with a lot of examinee, they are maybe in thousand or million. How will you be able to use the one we are taught in the classroom of taking 37% achiever and 20% lower achiever? How will you be able to do that? So, but there are packages that can be used, software that can be used even in large scale assessment. So, and that is why we are here. Once we are willing to learn, it's just that we make ourselves available, and step by step we'll begin to learn them. Thank you. I don't know whether the person who asked the question is satisfied.
Thank you, Doctor, for that explanation. I don't think there's another question in the chat for me to read, but I want to make an observation for future attendees of this particular program, because as for me, I really appreciate the effort put in place by the organizers, and the presentations are clear as they can be. The speaker right now is Ismaila Ibrahim Edegu. This is my first time joining, and I'm joining from Zaria, Nigeria. And I'm also an educationist doing my master's now in test and measurement in Bayero University, Kano. My observation that I want to make here is that in the subsequent programs, the host should mute everybody, and only the person that raised up his hand to speak should be unmuted by the host. Because I observed that some of the attendees just unmuted their mic, and then they left it open and they went ahead doing what they are doing, so that when the presentation, when the presenter is presenting, there were background interference, interruptions, so that the presentation was not clear cut and it was distracting other listeners. So it will be very important if we look into that. And then participating is very important, so that while the presenter is participating, don't wait till the end of the presentation before you ask your question. What you can do is that while it's presenting, there are questions that if you don't ask, you might forget it before the end of the presentation. So you go ahead and throw the question either in the Q and answer section or in the chat room, so that at the end, those questions will be collected and answered by the presenter and the host. So thank you very much for this opportunity to speak. Over and out.
Thank you. Even as you are talking, some people are still making noise. It's good that this thing is being on YouTube, and so other people will still listen to this thing later. So it's very good that we keep the decorum for virtual webinar participation. Thank you for that admonition.
No,
Yes,
no.
do we have any other person who has something to say? You have a question. Please, you can unmute yourself and then ask your question. Mrs. Dr. Rebecca, you are making noise, please. We are hearing you talking on the background. Yes, do we have anybody? We have Adebanjo that I see raising his hand. Do you want to lower your hand or you have something to say?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. We want to appreciate everybody that is in the webinar tonight. Actually, we are 25 now, but I want to tell you that people attended from different parts of the world. This is very, very encouraging. We have people from Johannesburg, that is from South Africa. We have people all the way from different parts of Nigeria. We have people from Uganda. We have people from Somalia. There are some countries that people register from that I'm hearing about the name of the country for the first time today. So that means people want to learn about test items, item analysis. And that is why people have registered for the webinar. Now we have some announcements. We have 3 announcements. One is on our forthcoming conference. You see that we don't have enough time to really do justice to various topics that we have been treating during our webinar because we are constrained with time and data and many other factors. But our annual conference will be loaded and it's really loaded. Let me try and share the screen. It's not yet made public, but since we are here tonight, let us share the screen so that you will see what we are going to expect in our forthcoming sorry, please, just 1 minute. I don't know whether we can see the screen. Is it visible?
It's no longer visible. It was initially, but it went away.
Okay, it will come. Yeah, maybe it's network.
Yeah, it is visible now.
Okay. Okay, let me start it from the beginning. Okay. Is it visible now? Can we see it? Yes. I think it's visible now. If you can see it, please say aye. Hello. The conference theme is development-driven educational assessment for transformation and survival. I don't know whether I still have my audience. Are we still together?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, yes. Now, development-driven educational assessment for transformation and survival. That is the Iaiiea conference theme for this year. So let us broadcast it. Let's pass it. Our webinar invitation is getting to places. I wonder how the thing is moving, going to different parts of the world. So let this flyer also let's fly it, let's go everywhere. Everybody needs development. Development, not just for sake of development, but development for transformation, development for survival. We know what COVID-19 has done, but the good thing will come out of COVID-19 in Jesus' name. So we will be developed, and then we will survive, and everything will be transformed. Now we should get ready to get our paper ready in the following sub-team. We shall be discussing, we want papers from the following area. Let me quickly go through them. It's going to be a multidisciplinary conference. So it is not limited to education discipline or educational assessment discipline. It's cut across every discipline. So when you look at the team, the sub-team, you will see the one that is relevant or appropriate to your own area of specialization. So we have educational research, development, and publishing strategies, enhancing assessment policies to reflect changing national and international curriculum. You see that because we are in the 21st century, our curriculum needs to be changed. So, and as the curriculum is changing, our assessment policies also have to change to reflect changes. So we need paper in that area. Entrepreneurship education, innovation, creativity, employability, and technology for sustainability. The another sub-team is cyber and examination security breach in assessment. Globalization education for national and international cohesion. Inclusive educational assessment for learners with physical challenges. Innovative and consolidating alternative methods of educational assessment in post-COVID era. Intercultural communications and educational assessment. Investigation in sciences, technologies, and humanity-related disciplines. So that covers all the area of discipline, whichever discipline we belong to, whether science, technology, or humanities. Then issues of validity and reliability in educational research, lifelong learning for self and national development, machine learning, e-learning, e-assessment, and digital laboratories methods, medical research and assessment, school proprietorship, management, and educational policies, challenges and solutions, university, industry, government partnership for transformation. You see, this last one is very, very important. Why are we going to school? Why do we have university being set up? You will find out that why there is no development, because there is isolation between university, there is isolation between governments, there is isolation also between industry, university, government. If there is partnership between university and government, there will not be strike as we are experiencing it in Nigeria. And if there is a synergy between university and industry, there will not be people coming out of university and they don't have job, and they now begin to go back to farm or walk along the streets and they're begging for money. So this conference is awesome. In fact, we need research on this area, university, industry, government partnership for transformation. So you see that the student, they will benefit, official, they will benefit, lecturer will benefit, secondary school teachers, they will benefit, principals, school proprietors, fly the flyer. Let's prepare. Money should not be a barrier. We can start saving now. If by the time you are saving 10,000 naira every month from your salary now, you'll be able to pay for the conference field. You'll be able to also travel if you have to travel to where we're going to have it. Now, but the conference is not limited to paper presentation. We shall also have time for workshop. And during the conference, we'll be focusing on 4 areas. Number 1, we'll be focusing on application of test theories in educational assessment. For the presentation tonight, we may not, some of us may not understand, or we may not see the beauty of presentation tonight because we are not we are not tutored in the area of test theories. If you are very fast in test theories and you know all those theories, you will be able to identify the appropriate software that will be useful for a particular test, test or test construction. So during the conference, you will be exposed to test theory. Another one is workshop on development of electronic test item banking system. Now, most of the university or places or even examination body, what they have is item pool. Some set of questions put inside locker and key, and whenever they want some item, they go there. That is not a bank. That is just a pool. And when you talk about electronic test item banking, an item bank has items, it also have item characteristics. You know the characteristic of each of the item you put in a bank, just like in a bank, in a money commercial bank, you have money there, but you have different denomination of currency there. So you have hard currency, you have local currency, you have different denomination, and you know how you package them. So as they do in banking industry, commercial banking industry, we also do the same thing in educational assessment system. So the conference will give us the privilege to learn how to develop electronic test item banking bank. Another thing we'll be looking at on that workshop is introduction to big data and artificial intelligence in education. We have a book already written on big data, and it's still an introduction. So we still need to know about big data so that a time is coming whereby we do little about education, teaching, and learning and assessment, and artificial intelligence will take over. So before that time comes, we need to learn about big data and artificial intelligence. And the fourth one, which is of interest to those who are in academics, is the issue of plagiarism detection technology, intellectual property rights, and policies. So I believe the conference will be fully loaded and we have much to learn. Somebody is asking where are we going to have the conference. This year, the conference will be holding Nigeria and the southern part of the country, precisely Benin. Very soon the flyer will be out and you will know the specific place where we're going to hold it, and also you have the access to the time. So let's get our paper ready. I also want to say that some people are saying they are with us for the first time. We have a platform where we share knowledge, we share information. We have WhatsApp platform for the association, and we also have Telegram platform. So if you are not yet in the any of our platform, Telegram or WhatsApp, please write your name on the chat, your name, your WhatsApp number, and then your institution and the country where you are coming from. Before we close the webinar tonight, please put it in the chat if you would like us to include you into our WhatsApp, so that whatever information we are sharing, you will be part of it. Then somebody is asking for certificate of participation tonight. Yes, the certificate will be available for those that are interested and who make requests. So look at the email address we have here, info@iaiiea.org. If you are interested in getting certificate of participation of webinar tonight, send us an email requesting for a certificate of your participation tonight, or you can text or send your name and address to that phone number you have on the screen. +234 803429294. And then you want to know more about the association, you can visit www.iaiiea.org. I'm saying this for the interest of those people who are joining us for the first time. Now, getting the certificate of participation is not free. When you send your request, you will be told to pay just a little amount, because many things go for all this webinar we are doing. So if you need certificates, you will have it, but you will pay a little amount. And if you have interest of the association, you should also be a financial of the association, so that all the things you also be a part. With your money, you are also helping other people. So the association will be better than the way it is. So things will become better. So we are looking forward to see your mail. And already during the registration, somebody has even asked for the account number of the association, so that I can send money, so that I can get his own certificate of participation. So if you send message to that phone number, or you send email to that email address, you will be told what to do, and you pay to the association account. Now, also people are requesting for the recording. Yes, the recording is purely for those who are a member of the association. Yes, the association is laboring day and night to go higher, and God is giving inspiration of what we should be learning. But there should be difference between those who are actual member of the association and those who are just visiting the association. I want to encourage all of us to be a full member of the association. Once you are a full member of the association, you will have access to all the recordings, so that you can listen to the presentation over and over again, and you yourself can also teach other people, because now you have understanding of the issue that we are discussing. To be a full member of the association, all you need to do is to also apply to send a message to that email address or the text message. Then you'll be given the membership form. When you pay the appropriate money for registration, membership registration, you will also be enlisted into the group, where you will have access to the recording. So all those who are members, who are financial members of the association, they have been having access to all the recordings since the beginning of this year. So if you also want to have even all the recording from January to date, once you pay your registration fee, you will have access to all of them. So you have not lost anything this year. And if you are a member, you will renew your membership for the year. So if you have not renewed your membership, please, we encourage you to renew, so that you also will have access to all the recording. I think we have gotten the message and the announcements. Before we call one of us to do the closing prayer, is there anyone who still have any question to ask? Please, if you have question, please just unmute yourself. You have the floor already.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yes, Dr. Kennedy Akudu, you have the floor.
All right, my question is with respect to difficulty index or discrimination index of 2 or 3 group of data. Let's assume that I'm carrying out a study, and I want to compare the scores of students for 2019 with 2020 and 2021. And one of them is higher than the other 2. Could it be as a result of the difficulty index? For instance, I'm working on a paper on the impact of COVID-19 on achievement. And I discovered that their score before the emergence of COVID-19 was higher than when did COVID-19 emerge? So if I want to establish the difficulty index of those three scores, scores for 3 years, how do I establish it? Because it seems that the formula given is for one particular data. So is it possible to compare 3 sets of data and then determine the difficulty index or the text discrimination?
Okay. My brother, you need to get it right. When we are talking about item analysis, it's not the candidates that we are testing, it's the tests we are testing, the items that we are testing. Okay, there's difference between I'm giving a test to a candidate. I want to know the candidate performance. Okay, what is the score of the candidates in this particular exam? Okay, but when we are talking about we want to do item analysis, that's what we call pre-testing, that's what we call post-test analysis. You can do both of them. That is before you actually to candidates, you do what you call track testing. The responses of actually is not that you want to score those candidates or you want to promote them, them while you are giving out the test. Why you are giving that why you are doing that track testing is because you want to test the items. You want to get of the items. So you now maybe let's take secondary school, for example, SS3 student or SS2 student. You who have covered their syllabus or part of the syllabus you are testing. So already they have been taught or they have read through the curriculum. Now, responses. So the responses to those items is what now you're analyzing. So based on the analysis of their responses, you will now know that this particular item, because of the discretion index or because of the item difficulty, oh, this item is good or this item is not good. In fact, if your test is based on item response theory, if you use Excalibur will not only give you result on difficulty index or discretion index, it will even tell you that whether your key, your answer is correct or is not correct. So you'll be able to go back and look at your question again, and you yourself may discover that the answer you are given for those one item or the other, they are not correct. Or you'll be able to look at the distractors. The distractors, your objective test item, it will tell you there is problem with this particular option. So you'll be able to work on that distractor or that option. Then also on the STEM, be able to tell you. And Excalibur, you can use it to do analysis for objective tests, essay tests, any type of test, whether filling the gap or whatever. Once you know how to use Excalibur, you can use it for any kind of test. So you need to get it right that the purpose of item analysis is not for comparing achievement of candidates on an exam. Rather, you are looking at the items. You are judging the item. You are testing the item. You are examining your item before you eventually administer it to candidates. And based on the result you get, you'll be able to know the aspect that these children have not mastered. So you go back and be able to lecture them and teach them. And with that way, you are improving the teaching learning in the classroom. Not only that you are improving teaching learning in the classroom, you also developing your own skill, your ability to set good questions. You're also developing your skill too. So these are the advantages that we have. Now to answer your real question now, I think you have your question tonight is not related to what you have been taught. But now to answer your question, There is what another area, maybe in the near future, we also look into, and that is what we call score reporting. It's another area in psychometry, score reporting. We need to look at, and then scale scoring, scale reporting. So all these are concepts where we'll be able to even compare scores. For example, you may have give a test to some students who are living in urban city, urban area, and there are students that are living in the rural area. You now give you give exam to these students in different places. So some of them may have high score, whereas the other person will not have high score. Now, by the time they move from wherever they are to the other, you see, those scores cannot be the good, cannot give you the good, you cannot make good judgment based on those raw scores, because somebody in a lower and rural area scores 90%. By the time he comes and sit with people in urban area, will he be able to get 90%? So that's why we now talk about scale reporting. Scale reporting, you have to do certain analysis again, and then before you now be able to compare and contrast, compare the result of examining A, examining B with examining C. So it's another area, my brother. So maybe since you have my phone number, we can still interact, or through the platform, association platform, I think we can still interact to learn more about scale reporting. Thank you. I don't know whether you are satisfied.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Do we have any other person who has question before we call it a day? Okay, it seems there's no more question. So we want to appreciate everybody who is here tonight. My friend, Dr. One, you are welcome. Dr. Uba, you are welcome. Dr. Ilubi, thank you. Eliasari from Ghana, we thank you very much for attending.
President.
And our friends from Nigeria, my brother, Folorunso, you are welcome. And we'll see you again in the next 2 weeks. And next 2 weeks, we shall continue our discussion on item analysis technique. This time around, we will invite 2 or 3 people to help us in the practical way. We have Dr. Kunle Anyan. I don't know whether he's still with us. He's from Johannesburg, but he's in Nigeria. He was formerly in University of Ibadan in Nigeria here. And I'm guessing that he's very fast in this HARU. You know, we talk about HARU software, and that is what is really, if you know how to use HARU software, you will be somebody they'll be looking for all over the world. So I will discuss with him if he can help us maybe in our next webinar. We also have somebody, Ibrahim from Abuja. He's also saying that he wants us to give him privilege to present. I will also get in touch with him. Now, I want to ask the house, is any of us that are very good in any of these software and you would like to present, can you please unmute yourself and volunteer to teach fellow colleagues? Yes, among those of you who are still in the house, you are very versatile in any of the analysis software, and you'll be willing to share with us practical illustration. Please unmute yourself and volunteer, please. Who is volunteering? I expect all of us to become volunteer. That's how to make the association better. Yes, you are very good in one thing. Yes, tell us which area do you want to share knowledge? Maybe I should be calling us one by one. We start with Dr. James Uba. Which area do you want to share with us next time? Yes,
Okay,
yes, tell us.
I won't mind to share, but absolutely maybe not this month and next. The next this month
But
and
before
next,
the
I'm
end
really
of the
busy.
year, before the
But
end
before
of the
the end
year,
of the year, yes, I would be open to share knowledge on how to use SPSS, maybe the latest version of SPSS, and Excel on doing both simple and complex analysis. If we have time, we could combine Amos too. Yes,
thank you
before the end of the
very much.
year, I can do that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Dr.
Thank you, sir.
Adibade Victor, which area are you going to come in? Please, as you are talking, you will WhatsApp me and tell me the area you would like to, apart from talking here, so that we put it in our record. And then we now choose appropriate time where you will lecture us. Dr. Adibade Victor, please unmute yourself. Which area do you want to come in? Everybody in this platform has something to share. It may not be on analysis. It can be in another area. Just tell us the area you'd like to share. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we can
Yeah,
hear
we can hear you.
Yes, I'm still learning. I will tell you later. I will make a chat with you later.
Thank you very much. Dr. Mrs. Charity Okonkwo. Yes, I think it's from the southern part of Nigeria. Yes, talk to us. Which area do you want to share with us? Dr. Charity Okonkwo. Please unmute yourself. Okay, while she's trying to unmute herself, my friend, my dear friend and brother, Dr. One, you have really been helping us. But do you still have something very urgent you want to share with us? Unmute yourself and talk to us.
Hello, yes, my brother doctor,
Yeah.
how are you? Yes.
Yes, Dr. One, you are welcome. Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening to you and to all the colleagues who are in attendance this evening. Allow me to thank you first for the presentation this evening, although I joined a bit late. And I found you talking of very complicated things. Many of them I don't even know. I just listened to them, and I hope one day you will start breaking them down one by one. I'm only comfortable with SPSS and a bit of starter, those two. But Amos, I am not comfortable with it yet. All the others are still very complicated system, but I'm comfortable with SPSS and starter somehow. At least I can use the two. So it would be good one day for us to go a little bit deeper and break down
these days.
and break down the others, so that we can be able to use a variety of those tools for our data analysis. I have quite a number of topics that I would wish to share with colleagues, but I don't know which one I will be able to start with. Maybe I could talk about, can I say something, talk about the structure of a research report, something like that. I will send you how to frame the topic, but I wanted to say something small about maybe the structure of the basic structure of a research report, because I know that many people are doing research, including in assessment, and sometimes we find difficulties in knowing how to write our reports. So I'll just first talk about what are the different types of reports, and then I talk about some few of the elements of the things that we put in reports. I think maybe that's the topic I'll start with first.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you for giving me this chance. Yeah, I'll let you know when it is possible. Yeah.
Give
Thank
you
you.
at least opportunity before the end of the year. I believe many people will have many things to share. Thank you very much.
You.
Yes. Over to Charity Nkoko. Dr. Nkoko, are you now ready to talk? Yes. Dr. Nkoko. Then over to Dr. Ilube Irene. Dr. Mrs. Irene Ilube from southern part of Nigeria. Unmute yourself. Okay, while she's trying to unmute, okay, yes, you have the floor, Dr. Irene.
Thank you very much, Doc. Thank you for the lecture tonight. And thank all the participants. Whatever we have, it will not be now. I will chat you up to let you know.
Okay, thank you. What of Dennis, Sammy? Are you a doctor? Dennis, what do you want to teach us?
True, I am a doctor and a doctor of educational psychology. I do not know whether this topic on item construction, especially for our research instruments and also item construction in our assessments has been covered. I've been out of action for the past few months, so I do not know what has been going on. So if it has been covered, then we can explore other areas where it can come in handy.
Okay.
Now that
yes. Just chat me and tell me the topic you would like to share with us. No problem. We will make arrangements. One of these days you will talk to the house. Let's go to Dr. Eric Azari. I guess you are from Ghana. Eric Azari, are you from Ghana? Please unmute yourself and talk to us. Eric Azari. Why she's trying to... You are a doctor?
No, please.
Okay. Very soon you'll become one.
Yes, very soon. So I will just learn and then present when the time comes.
Okay, thank you. I'm happy to hear that. Yes. Sure. Now, what of Afisa Salah? We are from which part of the country? And unmute yourself. What do you want to share with us? While she's trying to unmute herself, let Dr. Kennedy Akudu, my brother from Nigeria, whosoever that unmute first can talk to the house. What do you want to share with us?
Maybe I can talk about different ways of representing data and then data summary.
Thank you very much. So please chat me up on WhatsApp or through our association platform. Yes, so that you tell us what you want to do. Yes, my sister Afsa Salah. Yes, are you a doctor and where are you from?
Doctor to be.
Very soon you will become one, by God's grace.
By the grace of God. Thank you very much for wonderful presentations.
Thank you.
My name is Sas Task from Federal University Wukari, Taraba State, Nigeria.
Okay, right from Wukari, that is Taraba State. Yes, that is the eastern part of Nigeria. You are welcome. So one of these days, you two will present. And let me greet my friend and brother there, Professor Amal. Do you know him?
Yes.
Professor Amal. Yes, he's one of us.
Yes.
Please say me word to him. Now, over to, we have Eric Azari. Please unmute yourself. Eric Azari.
Yes, I've already spoken.
Okay, you have spoken already.
Yes.
What of Dr. Mazu Bello? Tell us the country where you are from, and then tell us what you want to share with us. I think you are from Somalia. Are you from Somalia?
Hello, good evening, sir.
You are from?
No, I'm not from Somalia. I'm from Nigeria.
You are from Nigeria. Okay.
Nigeria.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Which part in Nigeria?
Yeah, my name is Mansur Bello. I'm from Sokoto State. Currently studying management and evaluation at the University of Technology, Malaysia.
Okay. Okay, are you talking from Malaysia now?
No,
are you presently in Malaysia or you are in Nigeria?
No, in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, okay. So what do you want to share with us if you are given opportunity?
Well, giving me an opportunity, I think I will try to shed more light on maybe methodology, chapter 3, which I believe is a kind of very complicated chapter in the research, which consists of so many parts of the research. Or if I have opportunity, I would like to talk more on it. By God's grace.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
My
sir.
sister, Margaret Abikwe. Are you a doctor and where are you from? Margaret Abikwe.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Margaret Abikwe. I'm from Benson Dausa University, Benin City, Nigeria.
Okay, ma'am. You are welcome, ma'am.
I'm a guidance counselor.
Okay.
So probably after adding to my knowledge, I would like to share how we can use data, proper data in counseling our students.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we would like you to take us in something related to guidance and counseling. We enjoy my friend, Dr. Denny, first day this new year.
Okay.
He presented something. I wish I'm just getting married. Maybe I will have used that knowledge to train my children from as a new timer. But thank God,
wow.
we can still share the knowledge with our grandchildren now.
Yeah, the grandchildren are on the way, so they can tap from the knowledge.
Yes. So thank you. We'll be looking for also WhatsApp us so that we know the actual topic, and then we'll give you a time or a period where you will deliver.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Over to Dr. Denny. Can they say something?
Good evening, President, and greetings to all members that are still in the house.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, thanks for the privilege once again. I'm thinking of challenges of project supervision. Thinking of challenges of project supervision. So I'll get across to you to when the paper is developed and finalized.
Thank you very much. We'll be waiting, we'll be expecting from you. Thank you. Yes, my friend Olumide Owe, I'm just seeing you for the first time today. So move yourself, tell us whether you are a doctor and where are you? Where are you? And what you would like to do for us.
Good evening. I'm Olumide Owe, Dr. Olumide Owe from Bowen University, Iwo, Nigeria. I'm a demographer by training, and I will be interested in many things in demography and social statistics.
How many is this one? 66. 73 plus.
So let us discuss through WhatsApp and see how you can come into pictures.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yes. Our previous presenter, my brother and my friend, Dr. Popola, can you say something?
It's not up to 100.
Somebody is talking somewhere. Margaret Abikwe, you are distracting the meeting.
I'm sorry.
Okay, welcome. Dr. Popola, over to you. Please say something. Please unmute yourself. Dr. Samuel Pupola. Okay, I don't know whether he's still there and his camera is on. Dr. Pupola, can you unmute yourself and say something?
Okay. What I'm saying is that as we continue, we know areas that we'll be able to still share, and that we make known to you, our president.
Okay. You are welcome,
Thank
sir.
Thank
you, and God bless. Now we have, we ask one of
My
our...
president. My president.
Yes,
okay,
sir, Dr.
I
Uba.
think, yes, I think also, since we have this opportunity, we can still request from colleagues to send messages to you on areas of need. Areas of need where maybe that is controversial or where they are having issues. It might help us because we might have one or two resource persons who could handle those areas of need. Since the association is result oriented, so it will be like we are just solving problems and God helping us moving forward.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Uba. I think we discussed a few days ago on our proposed workshop. We are planning for July. So
Yes.
after this meeting, we are proposing to have a physical workshop, and there we are going to really deal with all these analysis and other things. So July is another day for all of us, especially those of us who are in Nigeria. And if you are outside Nigeria, you want to invite us, we will come. Just tell us where you make the arrangement for us. We are going to come and teach people there in your country. But for Nigeria, we are planning something on workshop for July, and we are thinking of having it in two places, one in the north, one in the south, so that people will not need to travel too far from where they are staying. So one will be in the northern bit, and we are planning for 2022, God helping us. So I already told Dr. Uba to be in charge of the one for the southern part of the country. So I believe in our next webinar, he will tell us more about the preparation. On this note, I think it's the right time to draw the curtain for our meeting. We really enjoy our coming together as colleagues and friends and brothers and sisters. Let's keep another, and I pray that wherever we are, we shall be safe in Jesus' name. So on this note, we want to call Mr. Dr. Dennis.
I think this is an opportunity. I will
to pray
open.
for
I'm
us.
also privileged to close now. Let us humble ourselves and we pray. Father, in the mighty name of your Son, Jesus Christ, I want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity in which you have shared your knowledge through your servant, and that we have benefited from it and we're able to share and connect through these wonderful machines. May the knowledge we have gained be used to glorify you in serving humanity. And as the night draws on, Father, we ask that you protect us and defend us against all attacks of the evil one, and we wake up strong the following day to do your will through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, everybody, and good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Good night.